Hey guys, hope you're all well. Right, on with the next bit on the GS, which is seat fixings and hopefully the tank fixings that will tie in with the seat fixings, so it all bolts down together. Yeah, I think we'll cover that today, and then on the next one we're just going to be basically going through the bike, couple of little bits here and there, and just checking over absolutely everything to make sure we've covered the lot before we tear this down. And then I've got to find a friend who's not in the bad back age bracket to help me out with that great big lump there, because that is quite heavy. So hopefully I'll tie someone down, get them in here, entice them in with a cup of tea, and we'll get that out. And then it'll be just cleaning everything up, finalising welds, and off to the powder coaters. And like I said, while everything's at the powder coaters, we'll be cleaning all this engine up. I know it looks quite dusty now, but it actually isn't that bad at all. So I'll be just probably going over the black and polishing all the casings back up and putting new gaskets on. I have new Suzuki badges for the casings here, so we should get it looking quite smart. Yeah, we're on the last run, which is brilliant. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, I think we've got that gusset going across the frame around this area here, and we've got that other one going across the frame around there. So I think if we get two hidden fixings back here and get one decent size fixing in the middle here. So we got this bit here, which was actually originally for the original fitting off the tank. It was to go over it, but I'm going to keep that there and make use of it and put a single fixing point off the back of the tank with a couple of small gussets there, which this will go over. So the tank will go on, the eyelet will line up with that, and then the seat will go on with the fixed studs in. So it'll drop on, all bolt up from underneath, and then the under tray that we made in the last video will then bolt up and hide absolutely everything. So it'll be just a matter of removing the under tray to, you know, to remove the seat. At least it all looks nice and neat that way, and we haven't got great big horrible brackets and fixings all on show. I think that's going to be the best way. As this gusset is quite close down here, I'm going to put another part off the back of it for the fixing point, and that'll still leave us plenty of space for all the wiring that's going to get hidden under there. Let's give it a go. Well, that's the seat out of the way, so the best place for a single fixing down the front here is 60mm away from the tank, and that'll give us the best area in the seat base to put a fix in. Yeah, so we need to make an extra bit off this up here with a single hole in, and then obviously when everything gets built, everything I'll actually put on rubber washers. And we want it just so it holds the tank up, and it needs to be like 5mm or something, so we've got nothing rubbing together. And we'll do a nice strong bracket off the tank that'll then obviously will be all hidden with the seat, and it should look alright actually. So we'll get on with that extra bracket there first. Right, to start with, I've cut a strip here which I'm going to fold in a moment. I've marked a triangle out here with a hole in, so I'm just going to cut that out, and then we'll put that around the edge of it. Just get something to draw around the top on a little radius on there. Just take that burr off the other side. Right, what we got? Is that too big? It is a bit. That's too big. Let's try a 50 cal. Oh, perfect. $50 cal's the way to go. There we are. I'll do. Oh, I'll put a good chamfer on the edge because that's where we're going to lay the welding. Right, now to bend this thing. Right, let's get it at the right angle. That'll do it. Right, let's weld that on. Then we'll put a couple of little tacks underneath and then flip it over and weld it all up. Let's do a tack at the top there. Right, get that dressed back, cut these bits off, and that should be nice and neat. There we go. Let that cool off, clean it up, and go and put it on the bike. Right, we'll get this tacked on. I'll pop 2 holes in there which I've got to open up. We'll remove the under tray, drop the tank and the seat back on, then mark the holes in the seat base from underneath. that should do it. Right, I've welded this on properly now, so what I need to do now, just before we mark the seat base out, is get some sort of bracket just tacked to the tank. I think I'll do it with a bit of card first, then we'll know what shape we're going with. Just pop a bit of card under there. A good old dirty finger marker pen. To get that bit. There we go. And get the shape of the back of the tank. Which is completely different on that side to that side. I think if we bring it in about there, like so, I think, so a lot. There's the hole. Something around that shape should do it. What I'll do, I'll cut the flat piece first and probably tack it to the tank. Then we'll add gussets afterwards when we know what space we've got to play with under the seat base, because obviously they've got to clear the seat base. Okay, we want something around that shape, although this is not exactly perfect, but the back of the tank's like that, so we've got to follow it. So we've literally got to make it wrong to make it right. That'll do. I'll get that cut out and then we'll go and try it to mark the hole out. That's that sorted. That fits, that does. Right, we'll mark the hole, and like I say, I'll get some of the paint off the tank and we'll just tack it for now. And that'll literally sandwich between the seat base and the frame, obviously. And what I'll have to do, because this is 3mm thick, to keep everything level, we'll probably just have to do some 3mm spacers up here, so the seat does sit level with the thickness of this. Get a great big fat clumsy hand in there. There we go, drill that out and we should be fine. Right, that's that drilled out. What I'm going to do now, because with this curve follows the curve on the tank, I'm going to put a return on that. Let's just grab that, or another piece of metal, and weld that on. So it sort of spreads the fixing area to the tank, so there's less chance of this tearing on the welds. And we'll also put gussets in as well. It'll just help it with the where it fits to the tank. So if we just weld that on, good chance that could tear off. Then you've got a hole in your tank and in all sorts of trouble. So this little bit here will help spread sort of the surface area where we weld. Get a little curve in that to follow that one. Literally just bang it over the gap of the vise. Tiny bit more, about one of them. And that'll do it. So we'll get that welded up, trimmed off, then we'll tack it to the tank. Right, that's that sorted. That should drop straight on there now. Let's say we'll weld that to the back of the tank, and we'll also have some gussets in there as well to add to the strength. And that should be all fine. Before I weld it on, I'll set the tank up with a small gap so it's not rubbing on the frame and stuff. And that should be fine. That's all that just placed back together. Mark the holes out now. And then drill the seat base. What we may have to do is make the holes slightly bigger in the cross member and the bracket we've just put on, depending how the seat base lowers onto them. So if we can't get it directly straight down and through the holes, we may have to make it bigger to sort of bring it in at an angle to obviously get past the tank and everything. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Hopefully, is that marker even working? Yeah. Hopefully that'll be all right. Right, we've got the holes drilled in this. I've got some M8 bolts, which is more than good enough. So I'm just going to weld them. Obviously there'll be enough foam and stuff on the seat base for not to even notice these, so I'm not worried about that. You're certainly not going to feel a bolt up your backside. Right, fingers crossed. Just working it right. Yeah. Ooh, come on. Got that right. Yeah, that's on. Felt like it weren't going, it's on. Drop straight on. Well, how about that? Lovely job. Right, I'm gonna actually put some nuts on this now, tighten it up, and then try all the under tray back on it to make sure everything is clear. That's worked out great. That's given me enough gap between the seat pan and the frame. Even on there, I'll probably be able to put some rubber spacers as well. Yeah, I think that's going to work out good. Nearly there. Sorted. Woo. It's going to do the job. Right, I think we'll just try the under tray back on now. That's what it's like. I say I've got enough gap between this and the frame tubes now to put some sort of rubber spacers and stuff, so it's all worked out good. Tank's solid. That'll be on rubber washers as well when I do the final build. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. The back end's finished at last. All sorted. I'm quite happy with how that's gone actually. I've just loosely assembled it. We'll have a look round in a moment, but that's not gone too bad at all. That is the last of the big jobs. All done. Like I say, it's just little things now. The gusset that's here, I don't know if you can see that. I've made the other one. It's there. I've just got to weld that on. And I'm just going to check over it a few times and go through everything in my head to make sure we haven't missed anything. And then this thing's coming apart at last. And off to the powder coaters. Obviously, I always go over everything, dress things up properly, put it in the powder coating pile. It's probably a day's work there, just going over everything, making sure I'm happy with all the finishes and stuff. And then it's all done. Am I happy about that? I really am. But yeah, tank's all mounted now. It's all sorted. Anyway, let's have a quick look around it. Not that you'll be able to see in the light I've got, but we'll have a look. So we've got 3 mounting points, which is more than enough. The frame runs about here. It will have rubbers between this and the frame as well. There is a gap there, but just so it's sort of belt and braces and 100% fine, we'll put rubbers between as well. We've got a gap there for the upholstery, the coverings, and obviously a gap at the back. So that's all sorted. That little return we put on actually makes sense now and drops in nice with the shock. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's just, you know, adds a bit of finish. Could have got away without it, but I think it adds to it. And underneath, bear in mind everything's just loosely assembled. We haven't got the correct nuts and bolts in. Let's open the door, see if that lets a bit of light in. Is that any better? Yeah, I think that makes under there nice and tidy. I'll say it's all just loosely assembled at the minute and not the correct bolts in. There'll be little dome heads going in here, I guess. We'll have a look, see what's going to be best for it. Yeah, I think the underside of that is much better now. I'll say we've got that 25mm cavity for all the wires and everything to go down, all out of sight up to where it's got to go. So that will do. Yeah, I'll probably do all my checking over. I don't know if I'll film that bit, we'll see. It'd be just me just constantly going over everything in my head to make sure I've covered absolutely everything that's got to go on the bike. I'll put all the headlight back on and everything and just 100% make sure everything's correct, because I really don't want that nightmare of everything getting powder coated and I've missed something. But yeah, we're approaching the end of the, we'll call it the dirty part of the job, all the grinding and welding and hammering and doing, and fast approaching the clean side of the job of rebuilding all the nice powder coated and polished bits back on it. I'll probably, after tomorrow, I'll be casting my eye over everything. I'll probably actually send the seat base off first to have all that powder coated, get it straight up to the girls at the trim centre and get it covered, and then I'll be able to see if there's any problems that I need to take care of. It just saves any hassle if I go and get everything painted and powdered, and because of the coverings on the seat something doesn't quite fit right. So I'll probably have that done first and get that tried before I completely tear the bike down. They do quite a quick turnaround up there, so I won't have to wait long. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, that'll do for this one. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.